Greetings. This is Skylar Saunders saying, What's current? Drizzy Drake has got another timestamp song. I enjoy his timestamp songs. Particularly I think 4 p.m. in Calabasas. There's 9 a.m. in Dallas. There's 7 a.m. on Bridle Path. 6 p.m. in New York. 5 a.m. in Toronto. And finally, the one, unless there's more, I think it's only one, but it's 8 a.m. in Charlotte. And this is the one that is most recent, has garnered quite a bit of attention because it has beef and or tension associated with it. Because it has within it bars that correspond to derision against the artist formerly known as Kanye West, Ye. And even though there's no clear shots, no names dropped or anything like that, there's some pretty heavy bars, some strong bars. This is why I call Drake the LeBron James of hip hop. He has stood the test of time and garnered and gained an immense following and has won awards and been one of the best to ever do it, and has comparisons to the greatest. And I think he's done that, just like LeBron has on the basketball court. And they have the longevity because when they first started out, they had, different ideas around them. They had swirling around them. LeBron had they bought him a Humvee and a Hummer, and he got a sneaker deal, and his mom got paid off or something allegedly. I'm not sure about all that, but he skipped college. He and then Drake, when he first came out, all he's gonna do is sing? Is that all he's gonna do and sing and talk about his past relationships with heartache and pain and everything like that, and that's what he's gonna do? He rose above that and achieved massive success within a genre that is not really conducive to what he first set out to do. He made his own lane by having the singing feature, which he was probably inspired by Ye for 808s and Heartbreak, and amongst others, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Salute the Crazy Bone for being in better health. But no, it's pretty obvious, the way he has these undertones, these undercurrents of understanding in his songs. He puts together these different lines that hit pretty hard. He said your niggas deserted you, and he's saying he's saying I think he says deserted you like pies and cakes or something like that. But he has some kind of metaphor for that, and he's saying like how Pusha T and everybody like Common and all these different John Legend, all of them have completely abandoned Ye, and it seems like they'll never be able to patch things up because Ye started going on a tear against people like Cardi B and different things, saying she's a plant. But it's just very strange. It's impeccable timing because he has his son Adonis in the video that's available on his Instagram page and also on YouTube. He's dealing with various tension from all sides of the rap sphere. So it just makes it all the more important to pay attention to what he has to say, because he's dropping the album soon, and in what 2 days tomorrow he's dropping the album For All My Dogs, and he's got the artwork from his son. He said he sold he sold the artwork. His son sold his artwork to his dad for an undisclosed sum, probably $10 million or something crazy. he just says, "Oh please," like his dad. Like his dad says that in a song. "Oh please, nigga, squeeze," something like that. And it's just great entertainment. It's wonderful. This is what keeps the hip hop genre alive. He took conduct. I think the DJ's the producer's name is Conductor Williams. He usually does beats for Griselda, which are really hard or really heavy with just touch of sample singing on the record, and so he transitions from the poppy sound, the sound that he became known for, and he goes back to his earlier days when he just rhymed off of straight beats, just off of harsh, rugged beats, but then sang over them at the same time. He's not singing here. He's definitely spitting bars, and I have to commend him. And he's got hoodies and a T-shirt that said hate survivor." He's got T-shirts and hoodies that say "hate survivor" in the video. It's almost like a Band-Aid on his face, like Nelly or something. I don't know. It's very weird how he had that constructed for the shoot. Yeah, and he's with a band of other niggas behind him. Is the best thing I can say, I guess. And his son is also wearing, I think, a T-shirt or a hoodie as well, with the "Hate Survivor" moniker. So it's just very interesting. It's very strange that he would come at Ye, because Ye is not relevant anymore, and he's not really a factor anymore. He's just Ye. He's not anything. He's like a nothing. He can come back. He can leak Jesus. Jesus. What is it? Jesus is King. I think it is. 2. And Dr. Dre's one of his associates calls him, all these names and calls him out, and he just continues. I guess maybe he is relevant, but not a factor. Maybe I may readjust that. Let me say that he is irrelevant, but not a factor. Not in hip hop, not in music. He's gonna have to find some other lane, or just live out his days with the rest of his money. He has over $100 million, I think. I don't know. He had $1 billion. He had over $1 billion. But now he has probably in the hundreds of millions, which I'm pretty sure you can survive off of that. I don't think you're going to be too unhappy with hundreds of millions of dollars, and that's alleged anyway. Who knows how much money he has, and who cares? Drake. It's about Drizzy Drake right now. Drizzy Drake is poised to do another #1 album. He's going to be going down in history with another #1 album. He started out with a #1 album, so this is all the way through. Every album he has put out has been a #1 album. Every single one. He's never been #2 on the Billboard Hot 200. So this is just he's at home with this, and like I said, it's about the bars. It's about the fact that he chose Conductor Williams for this particular piece. This particular piece is his calling card for who he wants to be in reality. He wants to be the top dog. He said, he's hinting at the fact that he's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time from his son's picture. He's like, is that daddy's name next to the GOAT? Or is that okay? I'm just making sure. Like I'm not saying verbatim, but he's just saying he's just making sure that he's close to being the GOAT. And that's what I think is so interesting to his character. He's like, I don't think LeBron James has ever come out of his mouth and said that he's better than Jordan, or he's even close to Jordan, or anything like that. But people always put up the stats. People always put up the different games, the different finals. Jordan never lost in the finals, never once. LeBron lost multiple times in the finals. So it's totally different pace. It's a totally different way of viewing things. It's a totally different way of understanding what it truly means to be here. And I have 3 people in the viewership. Show your face. Well, you can't show your face to your IV, your Avi. I can see your avatar, your Avi, but I can't see much else. But don't want to see much else. But I got 2 or 3 people bouncing back and forth. I'm looking for $80 today. That's what it says. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Greg S is in the building. Greg S, broke ass, doesn't have a coin to represent for his entire time on my live every time. He's got a like for me though, so I appreciate that. Salute the brokenness. Salute the fact that you don't have enough money. I got 20 Colombian pesos for you, brother. Yeah, of course he's really trolling now because we don't get called brother in the hater sphere. In the hater sphere, we're not called brother. We're not called your buddy. We're not called your friend. We're just called associates and haters. And respect that. That's all I'm saying. All right. Back to Drizzy Drake. He's doing the right thing. He's doing all the right moves. He's a very calculating individual. And I don't mean that in a malicious way. I mean that he knows what time to release an album, what time to hold back, what time to put out a song, what time to go for the charts, what time to say something that's not going to make it all the way onto the top the top 10 even, or even maybe the top 40 of the charts. I'm looking at Bad Behavior. Bad Behavior might have went platinum, I think, but let me make sure about that. Oh, it's not Bad Behavior, Worst Behavior. Worst Behavior. I'm gonna look it up. It achieved. Still went platinum. It was at the peak position was 89 on the Billboard Hot 100, but he still sold platinum in the United States. RIAA certified. That's pretty amazing. And it won a BET Hip Hop Award, Best Hip Hop Video, and People's Champ Award. Both of those awards. But this new track is something special, I think. It's not even. It's set to be released on his album again on the 6th tomorrow. He had a song with he had a song called Search and Rescue that was on the charts. That made it to number 2 on the Hot 100. That's the singles charts, not the album charts. That was earlier this year in April. Yeah, it's called Slime You Out with SZA. And that did make number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. So he knows what to do. Despite the fact that he may not have the most popular song, he'll still sell. He'll still sell platinum. That's what's so amazing. I would not like to see a Drake versus Ye boxing match. The only boxer I really enjoyed and liked and will always respect in my lifetime as seeing a fighter, it would have been Muhammad Ali, who is the greatest. But the best ever is, you know who I'm talking about, Mayweather. I just thought he was amazing. Every time he fought, I was like, these people think he's gonna lose. This is the reason why people are watching this. Every time I was like, he's gonna win. I know he's gonna win. I was convinced after 2 or 3 fights that he didn't lose. I was like, okay, this guy is special. He is definitely on some other stuff. He is on some next level. I don't care what nobody says. He's bona fide, certified, and qualified to be the best ever. Maybe not the greatest, but just by his trademark, the best ever. TBE. That's what it seems like to me. That's what it seems like in my mind, in my way of understanding. He has a definite understanding of what it means to be a person who conveys something that is timing and like Drake. He's kind of like Drake. The calculations, he knew about the scorecard. He knew about the fact that if he lands this amount of punches, if he moves this way, he won't be knocked down. He was almost knocked down. He's never been knocked down. He was never knocked down, and definitely never knocked out. He never fight 50-0. Once you get past 40, you're like, all right, this guy is all right. He didn't lose one match until he got to 50. He didn't lose one match at all. But he got to 50, and he said, "You know what? I'm good. Let me get out of here. I might do some exhibition stuff. I might help out Blueface with his his career." But like I said, Mayweather, it was a joy to watch. It was very engaging to see his mastery on that canvas. Because one of the things was it didn't seem brutal. The boxing sport is very brutal. It's very violent. It's very vicious, and it didn't seem that way with Mayweather. He knew about landing points with without having crushing blows or anything like that. So salute to him. And he has another sports reference that I would say is with Drake. All right, Gregor says, rumor has it Sky Saunders is known for knuckle game on the streets of Delaware. Jacking fools for their chains. Okay. Gregor has the jokes. He doesn't have the money, but he has the jokes. He has the little sidebar comments. I appreciate it all because I'm still getting paid no matter, what anyone says. He can say all that all he wants. He can say that all day. I still get paid either way. All right. Drizzy Drake. I try to look at these lyrics and I can bust them down. He says, quote, "You niggas obsessed with me and it's not on no hetero vibe. Handle beef so quiet you think that I'm letting it slide. Next thing you know, we tiptoeing past enemy lines. Diss me so long ago, we making your memories fly. Conspiracy theories start floating around like the Kennedy guy. I'll probably hold a grudge against you niggas till I'm 75. End quote. Then another quote. Hey, well, I'll try to break that down before I go to the next quote. So he's saying essentially that, the disses go, so far as to being conspiracy theories. They become, conspiracisms, really, because conspiracy theories do hold a bit of legitimacy. But conspiracisms is what he really means to say, are what will forever be surrounding him, into his senior years, until he's 75. And so he's not worried about being labeled as somebody that is someone that is above being considered in a conspiracism, just like JFK. There's so many conspiracies surrounding him. There's locked files that won't be open until 2036 or something like that. I'm not sure the exact date, but I'm just giving a random guess at when they'll be available. So he has in his arsenal the idea of knowing who he was. Like he knew who he was from the very beginning. He said, from his song Best I Ever Had, the girls are buying for the pictures and the niggas are buying and claiming they got it for their sister. He knew exactly who he was from the jump, from the very beginning. He didn't try to fake and be somebody he wasn't. He didn't try to fake and say, I'm the tough guy. I sold kilos of coke. I was trapping out the bando. I was doing all kind of capers and running street things and going off in the hoods. He's coming from the suburbs of Toronto, Canada. A child actor, coming into the rap game amongst these hoodlums, thieves, conniving people, and cutthroats. And he made his own lane. He was able to do that and be very successful, extremely successful. One of the highest selling artists of all time. And the little quotations and lines that were somewhat very argumentative or controversial, they get swept under the rug. They're like, shoot, we don't care. It's Dre. It's not Dre. It's Drake. Drake. It's Drake. We don't care. As long as he's putting out good music, we don't care. He's going to continue to do that. He's going to continue to go on for the rest of his life and do things that nobody is expecting to see. Tomorrow is going to be a number one album. I don't care. I can't see this being number two unless all the Beatles come back from the John Lennon and George Harrison come back from the grave and cut a record with Ringo and Paul McCartney. That's the only way I can see this not being a number one album. He has his finger on the pulse of the culture or genre, culture, whatever you want to call it now. It's a free for all, really. But he has in his mind the idea he can achieve anything he wants, and that's what reminds me of the LeBron thing. And it's funny how they made that song, Forever, because that was at a point where he was yet to win a championship, and people were like, well, LeBron hasn't won a championship. How can he be the greatest? He hasn't won anything. He hasn't achieved the status. How can he be anything? But people didn't see, the drive in him, didn't see the fact that he built teams, the fact that he played multiple MVPs, multiple Hall of Fame inductees. And that's his claim to fame. Now, I'm sure you can detract from LeBron, from the 2020 bubble game with the Lakers. That people were saying that was a half of a championship. It's still a full championship in the eyes of the league and the commissioner. As long as the commissioner says it's a full championship, it's a full championship. So Drake is like that. Drake and he said, it may not be nothing, y'all. He's having that whole idea, that people are looking down on him. But I want this forever. I want this shit forever, man. Ever, man. He meant that way back when. And then you fast forward to now, 8 a.m. in Charlotte, and you have the fact that he even addressed before how, Jay-Z said, here's how they're going to come at you. In the skies of a favor, the Barzini meet, watch for the traitors. So then Drake a little bit later, a few years later, said, Hove's advice. That's facts. He didn't take Hove's advice. He kept on with the disses and the hatred. He kept going. That's how he solidified his position in hip hop history. So I think Drake is in good favor still, despite everything that's happened to him, all the beefs he lost. And yes, he lost beef. He lost battles. He lost the battle. Pusha T got him way out of there. He ousted his son, or he made clear that he had a son before he had a chance to tell everybody. He made clear that he was in blackface for a promotion. Pusha T definitely got that win on that level. But again, it's like he got the battle, but Drake won the war. There's no question about that. Drake definitely won the war. He has, the American people, in the war, the people of people of the entire community around the world. I see Billy Spleen is in here. Salute. Respect. Days. $0 of $80 raised. So you have the amount of people that are in Drake's corner. He had, like I said, he has everyone's ear or their mind. We always say, as a metaphor, we say, oh, he has a silver tongue, or he has a great ear. He has, she's got a great eye for design, but it's really your mind. Let's not be confused. Your mind is what guides your sentences, not the other way around. All right. From what I know, anyway. Okay, you're good with Rick James. Thank you very much, Billy Spleen, for reading my story. I didn't get the number one spot. I probably got in the last or the lowest of the spots, but I didn't get in the first place, which I thought I was going to get, but I didn't get it. And I'm all right with that. I'm dealing with it. I'm processing. But this Drizzy thing is what I'm on right now. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that, Billy Spleen. Make sure it's still on there. It's still on there, so you can still share it. So don't be afraid to share it. It's still on vocal.media. But in fact, I want a top story for October. Got $5 for it. No taxes on that, so helps me out. And plus the money I already accrued and added to that, so it's going to go to my bank account. It's beautiful like that. So, yeah, it's Drizzy's day. It's Drizzy's day. Drake knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah, $5 is $5. That's true. And I would appreciate you, Billy Spleen, if you gave at least $10, maybe $20, $20. Tone J sent me $20 back to back, Tuesday and Wednesday. $20, 20 whole dollars. Don't know where this person came from. I don't even know if he's a male or a female. I'm guessing it's a male. Sounds like a male's name, but it could be a female. But yeah, and just gave me encouragement. He or she said, they said, your channel's gonna get there. Just give me that encouragement. I need hate. I need all of that. But I say, don't hate, donate. So it's special when I see 3 people in the live and 3 likes. That's encouraging. That's my earning. I haven't earned 3,000 viewers yet. I haven't earned 300 likes yet, or 1,000 likes. I'm not in that position yet. I have to get my weight up. I have to get stronger. I have to get sharper. I have to get better. Just like Drake. Drake had to sit down and actually weigh out, and he says it in his songs. He says, about the lines he makes on the paper. He's displaying that he's writing. He still writes his rhymes down. He's not trying to be like Hove or people like that. Saying, "Oh, I don't write rhymes. I just come off the top of the dome and just say it." Okay, there, Tone J is a man. Oh, I support. Salute. All right, I didn't even realize Tone J. Salute. If you have anything to offer, you have videos or a product, make sure you hit me up. Put it in my advertising, scholarsaunders@gmail.com. and I will definitely support you because you supported me, and I didn't expect it. So he's one. Tone J, it's a male. I now know, is one of my biggest supporters. I appreciate his. So I wasn't sure before, but I appreciate his patronage and the fact that he is supporting up and comers like myself. I'm an up and comer. I'm only been doing this for going on. What is it now? It's almost 6 months. 6 months. I started in April. April 15th to be exact. Tax day. So I'll never forget it. It was tax day. April 15th when I had my first video. Garnered 535 views. I thought I was in heaven. I couldn't imagine that many views. I thought I was going to get one or two because that's what I had before. I made videos back in 2010, 2011, 2012, maybe even in the teens, and they amounted to one or two, maybe 10 views at the top at the most. Then the hater said, they want to see your face, they want to hear your voice, and it just exploded from there. It just kept going from there on. And so I respect people like Tone J, and you have to be like Tone J. You have to send in the money. You have to be a supporter. I'm asking you to please support the machine so I can get a better space, get a microphone, get a better camera system, be able to record and keep the files of these different videos. I know it's copyright protected, but I have to get to a position where I have the exact rights based on hard copies of the different broadcasts. All right, so salute to Tone J. Salute to you. Appreciate it. What was I gonna say? So I appreciate who has ever given at least $10 to the machine. $1 to $5, that's cute. Thank you. But those who spent over $10, you have a special place in my mind. I'm not going to say my heart. It's a glorified pump and a glorious organ, but it doesn't have anything to do with emotions or your mind or thought. All right, enough of that. Back to Drizzy. This whole show is a Drizzy show. If you hate Drake, hate in the comment section. Do whatever you can do. Do what you like to do. There's 4 people in here now that I can see. Maybe there's more, could be less. I don't know, but it says 4, so I'm just gonna go by that. But it's all in appreciation. So Tone J has dropped on me. I just saw it. This is how slow I am. I just saw the Tone J of $80 raised. Donate, don't hate. So I salute Tone J. He's a real one. He's out here doing something. I'm doing something for. I'm not supposed to be doing this. I could just be laying down in bed. I'm retired from the United States Marine Corps. I mean, I could write, but that's not as lucrative as this right now. I know this is not, and it's not, and I would have to pay taxes on the money I would be making if I had that. But I'm saying it's very okay. Height, salute. Okay, who's height? Salute to height. Respect. $20 of $80 Raise. All right, so I appreciate it. There's 6 people allegedly in this room. It could be 76 people. I don't know. It's goofy. It's a weird algorithm. But like I said before, Drake is the LeBron James of hip hop. They made their way. Now they're not the greatest, and I wouldn't even put Drake in my top 5. He's probably in my top 15, something like that. But the fact that he made such an impact, the fact that he was able to sing songs, complete songs, not just like Ja Rule could sing a little bit, even 50 Cent could sing a little bit, even Nas even had a song where he's singing on it. He could sing a whole song. Thank you, Tone J. Thank you. I appreciate that. Tone J says, congratulations on your retirement and salute to you for serving the country. I appreciate that. Sincerely. Sincerely. You didn't even have to give a dollar amount for me to say thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you for your support. Now I have 0 viewers. Rick James comes in. Rick James, you could be trolling, but I'm going to take you at your word. You're saying that he has some of the best bars in the game, and that is a fact. Drake does have some of the best bars in the game. He doesn't slack. I can go back to more. Let me see if I can find some more. All right, this is a quote. Hey, niggas lying for a living. I couldn't relate. We all got to lay in the bed we make, but that couldn't be Drake. You forced a lot of fake love when real ones stood in your face. That's why you got deserted by you niggas like pudding and cake. Let me stop right there, church. Amen, wall. I'm Reverend Dr. Scholar Saunders. No, I don't have any credentials. No. But he said, that's why you got deserted by you niggas like pudding and Drake and cake. He said that. I don't know about all that, Rick James. I don't know if you're talking about the show or you're talking about because he was shot and injured on the show. He was bound to a wheelchair on Degrassi. Spoiler alert, just in case you didn't know. But those lines are hard lines. Those are some strong bars. I'm not just saying that because I had trouble like with Worst Behavior. I think that was one of his worst songs. It was a terrible beat. He's rhyming off beat, and it was just a bad look. But it still sold 1 million copies. That's how great Drake is. His worst song. He's on his Worst Behavior. He was on his worst performance, in my opinion. He's probably got some other terrible songs too, but for the most part, he comes out with heat. He comes out with the fire. He comes out blasting. So I'm gonna put this again. $20. Oh. Yeah. You were right, Rick James. It is $20 of $80 raised. Okay, I had to make sure because I had in my mind saying, okay, I did 60, so 60 minus 20. I did bad math right there, so I admit it. I admit that I'm a stu-nod who can't do mathematics correctly. Simple addition and subtraction. I have trouble with it. I mean, I'm serious. My heart starts pounding, and I almost get sweaty at the temples when a math problem shows up. It messes me up. But Drake has the lines. He has the bars. His little 5-year-old is in the video, and what Conductor Williams does to this beat is just amazing. He's more synonymous as the article by Andy Bustard for Hip Hop DX says. He's synonymous with Westside Gunn's Griselda collective. The sixth god looks to reassert his status atop the hip hop food chain by spinning braggadocious yet introspective verses full of slick wordplay and clever double entendres. Facts on facts on facts. This is true. This is reality, kids. This is a reality lesson. This is something that we have to deal with, something that we have to declare as truth, something that's reality, something that we can all say is part of our heritage. I mean, you can't go to a Drake, probably a barbecue now without doing the Tootsie slide. Remember that, folks? Remember the Tootsie slide, Drake? And then, what is that song? Do you want me? Do you need me? Was that Nicki or something like that? Something. I mean, that's the kind of thing that Drake has done. He's definitely affected the culture. He did a phenomenal job on Saturday Night Live. He did a phenomenal job on SNL. He's a great actor. He could. What's ironic and surprising to me is that he's still in the rap game. Anybody else, right? LL Cool J, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Queen Latifah, just to name a few. 50 Cent, Eminem. He hasn't made a movie yet. That's like super ironic in a way, because you would expect him to have already had a catalog of different movies and probably won a few Oscars for his performances, or some Emmy Awards for TV. Kendrick Lamar even played a crackhead on Power. The irony, the actor, you would expect him to have a solid, if not extraordinary, movie career. He just sits up and says, "Do this stuff thing. I'll keep on rapping. I'll keep on rapping. They can expect me to do all that, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be a rapper for all my life." Yet, I mean, he might, maybe in his 40s and 50s and 60s, he might start, picking up roles again. But it just makes you, he was in Degrassi. He was probably in some other commercials and different things like that, and has the acting chops, has the ability, yet won't show the fact that he's not, being a rapper. But that's what he wants to be. That's respect. I got to respect that. Because he could have just said, you know what, part of it is probably the game, because, like, the closest one I think, like Jay-Z. Jay-Z is the Michael Jordan of hip-hop. He's Michael Jordan of rap. And I said before, Drake is LeBron. And, I did a whole list of, the connections and the metaphors and the similes to what hip hop artists and NBA players are like. I said LL Cool J is Jerry West. He's the logo. Like if you had to see what a rapper or a hip hop star looked like, you would have to look at the logo. You would have to look at LL Cool J. He had the style, he had the flair, he had the braggadociousness, he had the machismo, he had the ladies, he had all that to go. He had all that in the bag, everything, and he had the hard rhymes, he had the great stage presence and great performance level. All of that he got. Here we go. Rick James, yes. Okay, that's your bingo free card. Why can't you be like Tone J? Everybody be like Tone J today. Be like Tone J. He can only be himself. I'm not saying be him, but I'm saying he raised $20 today. He raised $20 yesterday. He raised $20 the day before that. He's showing his respect for the game. He's showing his respect for my platform, because I am an up and comer. I haven't been doing this for a year yet. So let me address Rick James. Was he still in a wheelchair when he was in Degrassi? Yes, he was. He was shot and he was injured. He was confined to a wheelchair. He was wheelchair bound. Jay-Z ain't got no bars though. Prove it. Show me how he doesn't have bars. Go to what more can I say and say he doesn't have bars. Strong bars, crazy great bars. Go, give me 22 twos or 44 fours or a whole list. Jay-Z's got a shitload of verses, my friend. What are you talking about? Come on now. You got to be trolling. You got to be you're trolling now, Rick James. You got to be trolling. That's the only way that you can get away with saying that. You're trolling. You're getting your troll on. I respect it. It's all right. It's cool. Be on your troll shit. Do what you got to do, but don't come around here, saying that Jay-Z ain't got no bars when he has plenty. Yeah, he got it for days. You can't even touch him. There's nobody touching him as far as bars go. Song Cry, come on. Come on. But Drake, Drizzy, he could sing a whole album. I want him to. He's gonna release a whole album where he's gonna be singing on it. I can see that happening. I saw in my mind that Ye would have created a whole classical album, but he did the thought that I was expecting to say what everybody would expect to say. He did a whole album about gospel, a gospel rap album, which went gold. I think that was Jesus is King. I think that's what is known as. That's the power of the pen that Drake wields. He has the power to write down all these different lines and make them punch. They punch. These lines punch. They get through. They land. They have power behind them. There's a strength and agility to him. The fact that he's now including his son in his promotion, and he's wearing I don't know the barrettes. I don't know what he's wearing and on his head. I don't know what hairstyle he's trying to go for, but they're lighting him up on Instagram and Twitter. Well, X, I should say, the social media site, formerly known as Twitter, X. Who wore it best? The late great Muhammad Ali, aka Cassius Clay, the basketball player formerly known as Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, there's a lot of people that changed their name, but I'm just saying they're prominent people. Prince, he changed his name to a symbol, the love symbol, and Ye, the artist formerly known as Kanye West, and that they used to say that the artist formerly known as Prince. People were looking at him. He was just having fun. He was just sitting back eating cornballs, having a good time. With people saying not sure whether they should call him his name or not. So that's funny to me. There's a great story by my favorite writer besides Ayn Rand, Turing, my favorite fiction author anyway. Turing. Yeah, that's true. Rick James is not spitting lies right there. Prince was a troll. So was Michael Jackson. They were both huge trolls. They trolled each other. They trolled other people. They were trolls. But what was I saying? People's names. There's all kinds of people that changed their names, but those are prominent people. But Drizzy Drake, he has in his power, to switch up and morph and go with the different flows and different clothing styles. He's wearing FUBU. He's wearing big jackets. He's wearing the pink that Cameron wore. That's pretty big business right there. When you're able to transform and go back in time and wear the braids when everybody was cutting off their braids. Remember that? Does anybody else remember that? Am I going too far back? Like around the mid 2000s, especially like after Obama got elected, they're like, man, I gotta cut off these braids, man. Ludacris cut off his braids. Iverson cut off his braids. Let me see who. There's a few more people that cut off their braids, but they're like, I gotta get rid of the braid set. Gotta get rid of them. Or maybe it wasn't Iverson. Let me make sure. Iverson. Yeah, he cut off his braids in 09. So everybody was like on a tip like, oh, well, the president is black, man. I gotta represent myself, be more professional. And then like it switched back. Everybody's rocking the braids again. Drake was starting the trend with the braids in his hair, and then they had the like the cut off, like the hair right here is cut, and on top is the cornrows. Yeah, old bummer is right. Old bummer is true. He is a bummer, but I appreciate the fact that Drake is a boss. He's a boss in his own right. He leads other people, and I'm trying to think about the people he's fed, and I'm thinking about the trio. I'm thinking about Nicki Minaj, Willow Wayne, and himself, Drake. They comprise something of a force that is beyond recognition. Nobody, I think, has been as successful as those three artists, and together to be in a group together. I don't think so. I'm trying to think. I'm really trying to think how single artists, not in a group technically, but within or were in Young Money. I think Young Money's been disbanded since. I have to make sure of that. Let me make 100% sure. I'm gonna make 100% sure. So he's on OVO Sound and Republic, as I understand, or just OVO Sound. He has his own rap label, Drake. Um, they've each sold over 100 million albums. Not together, they sold about 300 million albums. But um, what is so amazing is how he can take dance hall, he can take murky hip hop beats, he can take Afro beats and transform them into his own songs and make and craft wonderful achievement, wonderful offerings, and then make that translate into achievements. And it reminds me of kind of like how Jay-Z, um, it was interesting to say that how Jay-Z dropped an album every summer for 7 summers. Reasonable Doubt, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. Then he had the Rock La Familia. Then he had the Blueprint. Then he had Blueprint 2. Then he had the uh the Black Album. It was really eight albums with over 7 years, from '96 to 2003. That's how amazing a feat that Jay-Z did. But it kind of reminds me of Drake, because he didn't have the consecutive vibe about him. And that's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not, detracting that. I'm not trying to take away from it. I'm just saying facts. He didn't come out with an album every single year. He didn't have something stashed away every single year for eight. I mean, if you include the years in the albums, it's 8. But it was, and the Black Album was supposed to call it the Eighth Wonder, but that was scrapped. Jay had in his mind that he was going to be the best to ever do it, and he set out and achieved that goal. The one of the best things that you can possibly do and say what you are. You say you're the best, and then you go out and do it, and then you become the best. I say that Lil Wayne is the Kobe Bryant of the hip hop. He studied the moves of Jay-Z like Kobe studied the moves of Kanye of Jordan. Lil Wayne had in his mind that he was the best rapper alive since the best rapper retired. Because in that time period, back in the early 2000s, when Jay-Z hung up his mic and went into a corporate setting as the president of Def Jam, he had in his thoughts that I'm talking about Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne had it in his thoughts that what, Jay-Z ain't in the league no more. I'm gonna be in the gym shooting. I'm not talking literally, but I'm gonna be in the studio writing, and I'm gonna be able to go without a pen. I'm gonna be able to go into sessions and tear down mics and tear down recording sessions. He rapped over Jay-Z's "Show Me What You Got," and it made Jay-Z pause. He was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, who is this guy? Who?" I know him from the Hot Boys. I knew him from Louisiana. We used to go down there. I went down there, and they had the purple prowlers and everything. And I remember him rapping. But this guy, this new guy, this is special, and he just ran with it ever since till now. There's Carter 6 coming out. You get the fix on Carter 6 before it comes out, and Drake is about to drop on the 6th. 666. No. What's the next 6? But it's crazy to see. I just learned on Wikipedia, and this is serious, true facts. Apparently, that in 2018, Drake was reportedly responsible for 5% Canada dollars, $440 million of Toronto's Canada 8.8 billion annual tourism income. So he had 5% of the income, and I'll give you the Billboard article. Drake is responsible for 5% of Toronto's tourism economy. Expert finds. Drake's influence on music is huge, having set new streaming records with his latest album Scorpion, and getting so much support on Spotify, it had some customers demanding refunds. But it doesn't. But it doesn't. I mean, that's just amazing. You have to give the man his props. Like I said, I don't support every song that he does. He's not perfect. He doesn't have the greatest record, but he has a substantial one that stands up to most other rappers, because he was able to achieve great financial success with those albums and with all his proceeds. I'm trying to remember if he does anything else. I mean, besides rap. What does he do? What does this man do? His business ventures. Let's see. He has endorsements with Sprite. I remember that was the first one that he said when the Sprite game. I skipped the Coke game and went with Sprite instead. And he does endorse. That's right. Now I'm trying to remember. Yeah, he had endorsements for State Farm. He had endorsements for fashion lines. He had Bape OVO. He had OVO with Jordans, Air Jordan OVOs. So he does have stuff outside of music itself, but it doesn't overcrowd what he does. He has a definite understanding of the game and how to manipulate it. So that's one of the best things to do. Salute, Scott. I finally got caught up with you. You know what? I might change my whole day to 4 o'clock, because this is the best time of day for me. I'm selfish. But Malik, salute. respect the goal. You got $20 of $80 raised. Did I spell your name right, by the way? I'm trying to. I remember your name now, NYB Exchange, but I don't remember if I spelled your name. If I spelled your name right, please forgive me. I didn't mean to do that on purpose. I didn't mean to disrespect you like that, Malik. Let me know if I spelled your name right at least. But I appreciate you. You have donated to the machine, so I'm not. You're not a freeloader. You're not a free rider like some people, like Rick James and Greg S. That just troll. And I appreciate Billy Spleen over, and Rick James, at least in that way that they read my story. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. But I'll stay on a little bit longer. I'm at the hour mark, but since my Malik came into the building, I appreciate his lasting impression. Yes, I did say it right. Okay, good. All right, good. If you want to, there's always Cash App. I'll put it up right now. We have $20 raised right now. That's the Cash App. Just in case you were wondering. All right, thinking about it, but I'll wrap up. And then you can get your dollars together if you like. I'm not demanding it. I'm encouraging it to the hilt. Drizzy Drake owns the game. He owns the game. It's his world. We just live in it. That's a cliche. It's more than his world. He has constructed the world. It's not like the world that we live in. He constructed the world and moves around people like a board game. Like it's chess. He makes chess moves. He makes very calculated. I'm about to lose my gum. He makes very calculated decisions. I mean that in the best way. I don't mean that he's manipulative or exploitative. I just mean that he is very certain about what he wants to do with his life. Oh, great. That's good to hear. I'll stay on for a little while and talk to my associate, Malik. Keep reading. Reading is fundamental. It really is. Because I wasn't a reader. I was more of a writer. I thought you can go through life just being a writer. I can just be a writer. Why I gotta read? I don't got time for reading. What is that? Then light bulb. My favorite author besides Ayn Rand, Toure, said you can't be a great writer unless you're a great reader. I took that to heart. And the fact is that you enjoy reading. You can enjoy it. It's like you're stepping into another world, you're stepping into another realm, you're stepping into another, space for somebody. It's wonderful. It's great. It makes perfect sense to be someone that writes and be able to read. That's the prize. That's what's so great about reading. It really is fundamental. And I like if there was a point where in my life that I did regret, it was probably my early teens and my late, adolescent years, was that I didn't read that much. I was not always a reader. I was a writer. I thought I was the greatest writer in the world. I wrote poems to little girls, at that age, not now, but I wrote poems and I wrote little essays and stuff like that. I got recognition. I got a perfect, almost like a perfect score, a 5, which is the highest you can get on the state testing. And when I was in 9th grade, I was like, "Well, I gotta read. What's reading it?" Oh, you hear my comments on Star? Yeah, yep. I definitely do. I chime in from time to time. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, read. Reading is good. Reading helps out your mind. I thought I just had to watch. Oh, I'll just watch TV and movies. That's it. But the idea behind TVs and movies is writing, which you have to read. You have to read those scripts. You have to read those ideas, and you get to enjoy. Like I said, it's a profound and utter treasure to read a book, an excellent book, a book of stature, a book of weight, a book of understanding. That's what's so profound. When you find a book that is so great, and you find an author like Ayn Rand, all her books, every one of them, she's like the number one of all time of novelist and philosopher. Nobody holds a better position than her in the realm of revolutionizing two fields of human study, literature and philosophy. Now they should have Nobel prizes for literature, for philosophy as well. She would have definitely won them. I don't have books, but I will show you my vocal page. One moment. This is my page for my vocal.media that you can read my stories. Those are all my stories. I've won top prizes, and those other two are, yeah. I have this channel, and I have my own profile on vocal. Yeah, so I'll go a little bit longer. My laptop is at 51%. I can't plug in to where I am right now for other reasons, but there are 4 people in here with 4 likes, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. There's a like for every person. We can okay, Rick James. If we could go longer, if you put up some money. Tone J and Malik put up money. It would 51% would be nice. Okay, it's 5 people now. I'm gonna go check, sir. Go check. Do your thing. I'm gonna allow you. Because now there's 5 people allegedly in here. Could be 55,000 people, and YouTube will just have a glitch. I don't know. But I'm having a good time. I'm having fun. I'm still talking about Jersey. If you want to talk about Jersey, we can talk about me. I'm happy to talk about myself. Okay, he said, Rick James says he sees 7. I still see 5 with 5 likes. And we have currently $20 of this singular ruler of the kingdom of the air. And we're not going to talk about ruler of the kingdom of the air. We're only going to say that you can go and read it. You can read ruler of the kingdom of the air. That's when the live starts falling off. I started doing ruler of the kingdom of the air, and that was it. I was counting down. Here's the story. I was counting down to when I would have ruler of the kingdom of the air, and that was in all of the posts. And the hater himself, Mr. Troy Star Terrain, called me and was like, "Yeah, we're not doing too well with the rule of the air stories." He was like, you got to cut back on her. Essentially, this is what he said. And it was funny because that was the last day of the challenge, and you can go into my history, and it shows that this is the final day. So it was just serendipitous that he was able to do that. Well, Rule the Air is part of my niche. It's not my niche. My niche also is about murderers and serial killers. I made $20 in 1 month. Which is amazing to do for a writer on vocal. I'm glad I can make that in a day now because of the supporters like Tone J. Respect to him. But I've also talked about Ayn Rand and Short Star Terrain, just my inspiration and my motivators, people like that. So I'm very keen on that. I appreciate it. So um, if we have a few more people in here, I might go a little longer. If it touches 0, I'm out. But I'm gonna rock it till the wheels fall off. We can definitely go a little bit longer. I'm definitely appreciative of the fact that so many people are tuning into my work on this channel. So many people that are viable. So, people that have money. It's okay. Height. Okay, I'll check that. We can do PayPal. I'll do PayPal and Cash App. The only reason why I don't do PayPal fully or I don't, front it, but I'll still take it is because you have to pay taxes on it. But with Cash App, they never ask you for taxes on your personal account. Business account is something different. I'm looking at it right now. PayPal. All right. That's all right. I'm not mad. That's $10. So we have $30 of $80 raised. Salute the height. I never even heard this person before, but they're obviously legit. I don't know if you want your full name pronounced your government, but height says salute. Keep it up. This is height. That's what he says. So I appreciate that $10. That's what I'm asking for. I'm not asking for one times. I have 50 and hundreds, but I'm not at that level yet. I have to be honest. I have to be truthful, and I have to be reality based. I'm not quite at that level. When I get that level, you'll know. But I'm asking for 10s and 20s. That's what I got today. I got 10 and a 20. So that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. He calls Keith Harambe, Rick James. Thanks. So $30, $80 raise. We can go a little longer if y'all want to keep giving me money. I don't have a problem with it. If you want to do $50 and $100, that's fine too. I'll take it. I appreciate every single dollar. I do not take it for granted. I kid and I laugh and I ha ha he he, but I'm sincere. This is business. Like I said, this is not play time. And then like Mr. Troy Star Terrain said, if you're not serious, then stop taking donations. Cut off your super chat. I don't have super chat because I haven't had that level yet. Maybe that's when I might start asking for 1500s. When I achieve eligibility for 1,000, have 1,000 subscribers and have women, yeah, and 3,000 hours of watch time. That's when I will have 50s and hundreds. Till that time, I'm backing off. I'm not going to bleed people dry for no reason. I'm not going to just say, oh, just give me money. I'm going to have quality information and something to say. Have quality words and be on my dean, as they say. Okay, I already gave you my email address. Give me your address, and then I'll send it to you, Richard James. I'm not about to put my address on here. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know if you took your drugs earlier. And look at that. Malik is saying keep striving. I appreciate that. So we got an hour and 16 minutes right now. I think this is one of my longest shows. I think my longest show was like an hour 25, something like that. But this felt right. This is coming off the heels of the 3 hard sciences of the Nobel Prize Committee. Medicine, physics, and chemistry. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think Paul Rubens was almost 2 hours. But yeah, I decided I wasn't going to do literature today. I might do a recap next week of literature, peace, and economics prizes. But until then, I'm just gonna fall back because I never heard of Jean Fosse. He writes in a certain dialect from Norway, and this is real special. I have no idea what he's on. It's nobody black. See, if it was somebody black, then I have to be like, okay, all right, we talking about him. We talking about her. If it was Toni Morrison again, the late great Toni Morrison. If that was the case, I've been all over it. I've been like, shoot, she's from America. She's a black woman. Shit, she did her thing. But that was 30 years ago, if you can believe that. That was 1993. 30 whole years ago. Yeah, Rick. This is definitely up there in the streams. I'm not going to be on Big Brother ever. I can assure you that. I will never be on a reality show. I would be too embarrassing and clumsy and sloppy and stupid, and it would just be all over for me. So that would definitely not be my lane. You're trolling right now again. There's one person in this room, and I think it's Rick James. And yeah, this makes for good television. What I'm doing right now, this is great TV. Not the greatest. Probably the greatest would be Troy Star Terrain. Not probably, definitely. He's definitely he's the greatest. But he's the best to ever do it. Nobody else can spar with him. He never went to broadcasting school, but he knew the dynamics and the ideas of hip hop radio so well that he became the number one outstanding personality in New York City within just a few months. Just a few months, not years. He was only at Hot 97 until 2003. People think, oh, he got fired. He got fired for that Aaliyah stunt. He was suspended for that. He was not fired. He left in 2003 because they didn't give him enough money. They were giving him peanuts. They gave him $125,000 a year. Now that seems like that's a good chunk of change, but not for what he was doing. He was doing extraordinary work that required at least $2 million or $5 million a year, at least. Probably $10 million a year at that time. But it was a hip hop station. They wanted more. They wanted to have favors with Howard Stern more so. Not to dump. I need to dump on him. I'm just saying that's the facts and that's the reality of the game. Rick James is asking if I got 3 people in here. This is going on for a little while. It's kind of nice. I'm feeling it. Rick James is asking, will you ever broadcast from the Blue Room again? And that's my last question from you, because you're not putting up any dollars, and you're saying all this, and I'm gonna say with a resoundingly no, I will not be broadcasting from the Blue Room ever again. It will be in this Cowboys room forever and a day, till I fall, till I get a new house, till I get a new space. This will be the only room I'll be in. So whoever these three people are, I don't know. All I see is Rick James, Malik, and who else is in here? Height was in here, but then he left. He sent me a donation, so I appreciate it. A lot of Rick James, some Malik. Just wondering who you three people are. Greg wasn't here, and of course Tone J. Tone J is definitely of course he's a great guy, because he appreciates and shows respect for somebody that's coming up. Yeah, Billy Spleen was here. Good observation, Rick James. Okay, Height, you're still here. All right, good job. Height. Thank you. If you can't do Cash App, hit me on the PayPal. That's fine. Do what you can do. And the best part about all of this is I can get paid all day, all night. Send me something in the middle of the night. Have me wake up in the morning and say, wow, I got $20. I got $50. Wow, thank you. And that will motivate me even more to do a show. Because sometimes I'm like, do I need to go in there? And then I'm like, oh, yeah, nigga, you need to go in there. Ribs is touching. Pocketbook is looking kind of dusty. So I appreciate Height. I appreciate Rick James. I appreciate Malik. I appreciate even Greg S's bum ass. And of course, Rick Tone J. Tone J is a real one. Definitely, without question. Definitely a real one. Like I said, I'm not here to spark beefs. I see 5 people, Rick James. So it's 5 people in here. And 6 likes. So that's encouraging. I have more likes than people. So, and I didn't think they mattered, because they don't really give you lessons. They have tips. We have tips on how to use your vocal studio in your channel. But they don't really have a step-by-step guide for doing this. I'm doing all this by my lonely, just on the fact that I can have a microphone set in my MacBook and a picture with my camera. That's all I'm doing. Yeah, it takes work. Yeah, it does take work. I only have 287 subscribers. 287 so far. It goes down. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. But I'm right around 287 subscribers. I'm sure all of you are subscribers. Hint, hint. I'm sure all of you have been are a part of that number. If you're not, make sure you're subscribed. That's a cliche that people use as a joke. Hit my likes, subscribe, and comment. That's what they do on SNL and stuff like that, and make fun of vloggers and influencers and people like that. Malik, what do you mean? What do you mean I only have 18? What do you mean I only have 18? I don't know what you mean. What are you? Oh, you're saying you only have 18 subscribers. Okay. Yeah. That's where I was. I mean, That's why I give Mr. Troy Star Terrain so much props, because of the fact that I had, oh my god, I must have had like 11. I'm not kidding you. I probably had like 11 subscribers, if that, if that. This is April 14th, 2023, when I had 2,000 views, okay, and maybe 11 or 12 subscribers, if that. Turns out on the 15th and beyond, and to right now, I have 20,000 views and 287 subscribers. That's the American dream. This is a tiny little piece. This is a little tidbit, but the performance is the principle. Yeah, I mean, Malik, you're probably busy with other things. You don't have time for videos. I understand that. That's completely understandable. I get it. I get that, Malik. You're a businessman, aren't you? Aren't you? Yeah, I was. Yeah. I was super crawl. I'm walking now, walking like with a cane. I'm walking with a cane. I used to crawl. Now I got a walker or a cane or something like that. I mean, and Troy Star Terrain is flying. If anybody who has over 250,000 or 200,000 subscribers, he has 244,000. Who has 200,000 subscribers is definitely flying. And if if you're in the $1 million and $5 million, not dollar, but 5 million subscriber range and 10 million subscriber range, you're in orbit. You're in a spaceship. You're definitely in a rocket or something. You're in a spacecraft. So that's how I got into this game. And there's two people in here. I'm talking to Malik right now. It's probably Rick James and Malik. So I'm gonna still rock it. The wheels are still rolling. They haven't fallen off yet. 39%. I'll go down to 20%, and then I gotta go because I got to restart my whole MacBook, and everything has to be readjusted, and it's just a big headache. Yeah, stars to go to radio. Yeah, there's no question. He came in like 14 or 15 in the poll that Radio One had of the top black radio radio commenters of all time. But in my book, he's number one. I'm not just saying that because he's allowed me on his platform and definitely gave me good game and good great commentary and thoughts. But no, he definitely rules the spot. He rules the number one spot. Now there's three people in here. I'll never but I said once it goes down to 20, then I got to get out of here. I'll let it go down to 20. But this is fun. I like this. We're having a good conversation. Having a great conversation. Rick James, you're missing out. Go to Star. What is it? No. It's not Star. I keep on saying the Star Report. Go to the Star Report. Matter of fact, I'll put it in here myself. Now I have 288 subscribers. I'm just saying it. Okay, that's funny. And Star's in his element. Don't get it confused. Don't get it messed up. He doesn't have to have 2 million subscribers and 300,000 views every outing. He doesn't want that. He doesn't even need that because of the fact that he's not trying to get blasted out and put on a pedestal. So I'm putting that in the chat for you to peruse, Rick James. Now I have 7 likes. Thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. Yeah, check it out. Definitely check out his whole, read his book. You know, he's a multimedia guy. He had radio. Well, before then he had TV, radio, books and short films. Now YouTube, among a whole host of other things, websites. He's a force, and there's 4 people here, but I'm not worried about it. And there's 8 likes. I'm not worried about it. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all, because when it gets down to 20, I'm out of here. Y'all got 17% left. Baja Jackson, God damn! This is. I'll give you a funny story. Baja Jackson is a supporter. He sent in money, and it was funny because I looked at my Cash App and I just saw Jackson, right? Then I saw Jackson. He sent me a donation. Then I saw Jackson again. I was like, oh, okay. He hit me with the double action. And then it was really Chelsea. She was like, totally different Jackson. I have to get my eyes right. I get excited. I get excited. So we have $30 of $80 raised. He says, Mr. Saunders. I appreciate it. The S needs to be capitalized, though. I appreciate it nonetheless. I do. I understand the sentiment. I get the sentiment. I get the sentiment. But I appreciate Baja Jackson. He definitely is a real one. He is a real one. All right, so since we're here and we got a few percentage points to go, tell me how you get here. How did you get a notification? You get an email? Tell me, 3 people are here. How do you get to know Skylar Saunders is live? 5 people are here now. How do you know that Skylar Saunders is live? How do you know? You just go on YouTube and see that in the little box that shows that I'm. What is the case? While Baja Jackson gets his money together. Okay, you get notification. Got to work on the spelling there, Richard James. Rick James is kind of crazy with the spelling. Okay, so now we're down to 4, which is cool. If it goes down to 0, I'm still gonna rock it. Like I said, I'm going to 20%. Then I got to go because it's too much of a headache to get the MacBook up and running again and have all the bars back. It's just a headache, but I'll keep rolling. I think this is in fact my longest show so far, 133 and ticking. I can go back to Drake. Drake was great. He was on he was on one of the timestamp songs. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was 6 p.m. in New York. And Lil Jakey. I don't think we've ever seen you in the room before. Welcome. Get acquainted. You know, get everybody stuff, and get your pocketbook ready. Again, Rick James, you gotta make sure you spell the names right. And it's Lil Jakey, not Little Jackie. Rick James gets he's on prescription drugs like myself, we don't know how to act. We get crazy sometimes. I think it's all for the good. It's the weirdest thing. If we have time enough for a story, a real quick story, there's 32% left. You know, I got to this point because of my bipolar disorder. I was in the psych ward. They don't put this in movies and books and TV shows, but I got $23,000. It was probably 27, maybe $30,000, but the lawyer had to get paid. But I got $23,000 tax free from being in a psych ward. Nobody ever talks about that. I'm going to be the first one to talk about that. Mental health. They always say, oh, he went crazy and he just did all this wild stuff. Well, I got paid. That's facts. And I'm getting paid right now because of it. And this isn't to brag or boast or saying, he shouldn't get his money. He's talking about his money. Oh my God. No, I should get my money because I'm telling the truth. I got paid and I'm still getting paid, monthly, tax-free on Social Security and disability pay. I'm able to pay my bills. I'm able to have a little bit left, a little chunk of change left over. And I'm glad to have the donations that come in because they all go towards the show. I use my money, for bills and stuff like that. But the money that comes in for the show, this show right now, the donations, they are geared towards going into the microphone and the camera setup and things of that nature. I'm very primed to do that. I'm focused on doing that. So I appreciate every single dollar that somebody may give me on this show. I really do. Because I'm crazy. I'm bipolar. I'm bipolar 1. I'm loony. I'm wild. I was in the loony bin, the nut hut, the puzzle factory, all kinds of names, the cuckoo's nest, all of that. And it was all worth it because I'm getting paid right now. And it seems like the failures become successes. Like I failed to, show up for certain meetings and I was able to progress because it's an actual chemical imbalance in my own brain. If you had a brain scan of my brain against a quote unquote normal or healthy brain, it will be completely different. There will be a complete shift of the different synapses and brain matter that go on inside my head. So I appreciate everyone's dollar. I don't take it for granted. I don't just say, ha ha, I'm sucking them dry. I'm getting all their money. I'm getting up like a vacuum cleaner. Ha ha ha. No, I'm saying I'm using their money for goodness and for great times, for better times on this channel. So we're down to 30. We got 10% left with one person hanging on. Looks like Rick James is the last person to speak. People are leaving and going out and doing better things, it seems. I'm doing the greatest thing, by the way. I got 8 likes. I think it's the most likes I ever had. Salute to Toy Sir. Who is Toy Sir? Does he mean Troy Sir? You got to get your numbers right. And now I see 3 people. I see 3 people now. It just keeps going back and forth. It goes up and down like the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ, which I just love that too. We don't talk about the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones because it's so esoteric. It's so deep. It is so arcane. It's almost untouchable. We don't talk about it in school. That's why I'm calling for private schools. And I would spend, the 5% of my time dedicated in donating to private schools and erecting only private schools across the land. That someone will teach about that, the stock market. Some of them won't. You have the choice to send your kid to either one. It's your it should be your prerogative to get these government schools the hell out of here. Get government the hell out of health. We have to have that. And I know billions wouldn't change it. I know money wouldn't change it all the way because it's still legislation and a whole lot of red tape and government intrusion in all of health and education. The two most important uh, institutions behind and law and finance, probably. Um, uh, there's because they didn't go by the schools. I mean, because there's like I said the other day, it's like from the fountainhead, architecture and journalism. That's pretty much all it is about. Architecture and journalism. Two of the most important institutions that people overlook. Ironically, they just take it for granted. Oh, I live in a house. Oh, I go to. Oh, I just read the newspaper. I get the weather and the sports and the news. And there's really people that create these things. There are writers. There are architects. There are designers. There are engineers. And like I said, there are two jokes. There's what is architecture? You're living in it. And what's black and white and red all over? The newspaper. And usually some people say the New York Times, but the Fountainhead is all about just those two ideas, architecture and journalism. And Ayn Rand does a fine job, an excellent, crystal clear job of portraying what it's like to be in these professions. Well, I appreciate that, Rick James. I can only spit facts. I can only do that because I want more money. Like, that's the whole thing. You can't just get up here and say a whole bunch of bullshit and not have any connection to reality and truth and what's going on in the world and expect people to pay you. I mean, I wouldn't be able to sleep like that. I go to bed knowing that I think I did an excellent job. I think I could have did a little bit better today. Oh, I didn't do my best work today. Oh, I did an excellent job today. I did the best job. That's what it comes down to. How I sleep at night. Not just the fact that people pay me, and I appreciate the people that pay me, but the reason why people pay me is because I put in the work, I go through the facts, I go through the ideas, I go through all the truths, and I come out with the best lines and the best quotes. We're laughing, we're serious, we're truthful, we're honest. And that's the best part about all of this is I have a platform to speak to people all over the world. Harambe, as Rick James like to say, is in Japan. He's all the way in Japan. And I go by my analytics. I have people in Canada, UK, New Zealand, Australia, different parts of Europe. I have a gender disparity. It used to be at like 0.08% female. Now it's at like 2%. Used to be even higher than that, I think, but it went down a little bit. But I know my numbers. I know my numbers and know what I can do and know impossible to do. We're at 25%. If you want to keep asking me questions, go ahead. At least, saying statements. I'll let it go. And by the way, Harambe is Harumai something. I don't know the rest of his name, but his real name is Keith. He's a good guy. He's a freeloader, but he's still a good guy. Like Rick James. Rick James is a great guy. That I never met him. I never met either of them, but online they're great people. Except that they're freeloaders, free riders. That's rocking power to Simple the Pimp. He used to say, all the time. What's so messed up about that is that I just got on his page not too long ago, a few months ago. It wasn't in like a whole year. Troy Star Terrain just pointed me to his page, and I started listening to him, and he gives game by the pound. I mean, it's just, he talks about how billionaires can be squares. You can have $10 billion, $100 billion, and I'll still call you a square. That's what he said. I'll never forget that. Because that's one of the questions I always have. I'm like, well, billionaires are bosses, and they're good at business and stuff like that. You can be great at business and still be a square. still be somebody that doesn't know the game, doesn't know how to finesse and do things properly. That's one of the key things that I took away from him. I think you meant ruler, Rick James. Your spelling is still a little crazy, but I do appreciate it. Yeah, that is the key to all of this. That is the motivating factor. Not just the money. I love the money. Don't get it confused. But the fact that I have to do great work. I have to do my research. I have to have something to say. I have to say it in a commanding way, in a compelling and cohesive and cogent way. Cogent means persuasive, by the way. I had to look that up. Yeah, I don't see 7 people. I see 8 likes and 3 people. And we have 23%. So it's coming down to the wire. Almost 2 hours. It could possibly go to 2 hours. I doubt it. Because 23% is about to go. It'll go to about 150, I think. Baja Jackson. All right. Salute to Baja Jackson. We have $37 of $80 raised. I'll take $7. I'll take $7. Over $5. Salute. Donate. Donate. $37 of $80 raised. A 20, a 10, and a 7. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? We got 21% left. I'm about to get check out of here. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go say, hey, thank you to Height. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you to Baja Jackson, who is a dedicated supporter. And definitely thank you to Tone J. I salute you, sir. Thank you very much for your consistent and compelling offerings. I appreciate that sincerely. I really do. Thank you. And thank you to Rick James, even though you're a freeloader. Thank Greg S., even though he's a freeloader. Little Jakey, you said 1 or 2 things, or 1 thing, and I didn't see you anymore. Hopefully you come back. Salute to Malik. Malik definitely on the check-in. And I will see you most likely tomorrow. If not, definitely over the weekend. Thank you very much and take care.